Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Willingness Wednesday. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be here with you tonight. Oh, you just don't know. I've been thinking about you all week and putting a lot of energy and thought into the things I want to say to you tonight. Ooh, we got something special for you tonight. So if you are new, I want to say welcome, welcome. You're so welcome here. This is a safe place. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your love and support. You know I couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your coach. I'm so grateful. Anyway, today we are talking about self care. Self care is a topic that I decided that I wanted to embark on for the month of September. And so here we are talking more about self care. And so I had to think long and hard. I was like, okay, self care. What does that really mean, coach? When you say self care and boundaries, what is that and why? I'm so glad you asked because I've got all those answers for you tonight. Okay, so when I was thinking about self care, um, first of all, I have to first understand that I am a multi-dimensional being, right? I'm a multi-dimensional being. And so I have to make sure that I'm taking action in all of these components of who I am. That means the emotional, right? That means the mental, the spiritual, and the physical components of who I am as a multidimensional individual, being, creation, whatever you want to call it. The most thing that you need to understand is that self care is vital. Okay, self care is vital to who you are, and you have the right to take care of yourself. And there's so many ways that we give up that right, not even knowing that we're doing it. And so when we set boundaries, that allows us to actually look at who we are, what we stand for. It actually gives us a chance to have some self-respect and our standards. Now, of course, if you're not used to setting standards, don't worry, I can help you with that. All you have to do is call me. All you have to do is just email me. My information's right down there on the bottom if you would like to, And what I want to go ahead and just jump on into tonight's segment. All right, so I had to think. The best thing that I had ever done for myself was in 2016. 2016, I looked around and I said, hey, wait a minute. I got a lot of relationships going on in my life, and it seems like I'm the one doing all the calling. Are you? Do you have relationships where you're the one doing all the calling, all the texting, all the reaching out, all the hey girl, let's get together? You're doing all of that and none of that is coming back to you. Well, that is not a mutually beneficial relationship. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. So you deserve to have mutually beneficial relationships. That's your right. And also, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel complete. It makes you feel as if you have self-respect when you engage in mutually beneficial relationships. Okay. Now, are you one of those kinds of people? I don't know. I've heard it said so many times. And some of my friends say, oh, my life is not my own. Oh, I was running here. I was running there. I'm finally at home and it's 9 o'clock and I haven't done anything for myself. Are you one of those kinds of people? Are you the kind of person that feels guilty for saying no? I used to be one of those kinds of people. I used to find it so hard to say no. And I found myself in so many situations. I found myself tied up in knots in my spirit because I did not have the courage to say no. Well, I learned that people are just people. You can't fault people for being who they are. People are going to take, because that's the ego part of who we are. We want what we want, and we want it now, and we want it from you, right? We want you to do all the work. We want to reap the benefits, but we want you to do all the work. We want your energy. Okay. So you have to understand that there are people out there that will zap your energy from you. I'm talking about bleed you dry, right? Leaving you wondering, where did all my energy go? Well, it went to those non-mutual beneficial relationships. That's where it went. It went to places that you didn't even want it to go, but because you don't have the courage to stand up for yourself, you say yes when you really mean no. Okay. Now, I'm going to help you with all of that because you deserve to have a life, right? You deserve to be selfish. A lot of people say, oh, she's so selfish. Get selfish, girl, because you know what? That's where it's at. Everyone has the right to care for themselves. Self care. Yes, that is selfish. But guess what? Self love has the appearance of being selfish, but it's not necessarily a selfish act. What it means is that you are giving to yourself, which is what we're all supposed to do, which is the responsibility of each of us, is to make sure we get our needs met, but not necessarily at the expense of another individual. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Okay, so I have jotted down a few things that I'm going to talk to you about tonight. And the first component I want to talk about is the mental component of who you are. Okay. Now, setting boundaries is not an easy thing to do. However, you will thank me. You will thank me for tonight's message once you're able to give yourself permission. See, a lot of times we have to give ourselves permission to act on our behalf because somewhere in the back of our minds, we got the message that we don't have that right, that all our energy needs to go to somebody else, and then somebody else will pour into us. Woo! Backwards. Now, that is backwards thinking, right? So, if I pour into myself, I don't have to worry about someone else needing to pour into me. So I had to set some boundaries. I had to set some boundaries that says I am the most important person in my life, right? Now, I love others. No, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of wonderful, special relationships in my life. But at 9 o'clock, my phone is turning off. And any of those people who know me know that I have very strict boundaries. I have very strict boundaries because I have very high expectations for my life. You know, I'm a highly effective individual, and I rely on my boundaries to help me meet my goals. What I begin to do is look and see, is this healthy? Is this helpful? Is this conducive to my goal? If I say yes to this, is it going to help me get to where I'm trying to go, right? Because your goals are your goals, and you have the right to have them. I need to tell you that as well. And so anybody who doesn't appreciate that, well, guess what? They need to be in the outer ranks of your life, not in the front row of your life. The people in the front row of your life have to be people that you say are conducive to what you are trying to do with your life. For me, people in my inner circle are like-minded people who vibrate at a high frequency, who don't bring negativity to my life. Because I'm not having that. That's my boundary. You will not bring negativity to my life. I'm just not going to have it. And so I am willing, I need to tell you, I don't care who it is, I am willing to shut them down for my sanity. I'm willing to shut anything down that goes against my standards, that goes against the principles that I live by. I am not fearful of others. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they think. Because when it's all said and done, what they say and what they think do not get me to where I am trying to go. I have goals in my life, and that is the perfect reason for having these boundaries. See, when I have a boundary, I can shut this down, right? Say no to this so that it opens me up to more of where I'm trying to go. Listen, I want to live a long, healthy life. That is a goal. That is a goal of mine, right? And so I have to make sure that I am putting energy in all areas of my life in order to live a long, healthy life. If I want to live a long life, I have to make sure, number one, the mind. What am I feeding my mind? Garbage in, garbage out. If I'm feeding myself garbage, if I am, my mind is so precious to me, and I make sure that I program it daily so that I don't have to be blowing through the wind. Either way the wind blows, that's the way I go. See, I used to live my life that way, and I squandered so much of my life, so much of my potential, that I have decided that that is not the way I will ever live again. And so the boundaries that I have set speak to the fact that I want to have a sound mind. And so, if I want to have a sound mind, I have to make sure that I'm not destroying it, right? With drugs, alcohol, pornography, all of those kinds of things have a way of eating away at my mind. Right? Making me feel guilty, making me feel shameful, making me feel afraid. No, 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 no. I don't want to feel those things, and I don't have to as long as I have some boundaries. Boundaries are good. Boundaries are your friend. Okay? And I am your coach. And you can call me at 317-721-4315, or you can reach me by emailing me at b.vonsquires@gmail.com. The people in my inner circle are people who also have boundaries. And so, what I am learning is the first thing we have to do is come to believe that I deserve to have my needs met. There is nothing wrong with that. I have to come to believe that it's okay to say no to people. Now, people are not going to like it because they're already so used to you saying yes, but they will fall in line as long as you stand hold to your boundaries. Okay. One of my boundaries is drinking at least 50, 50 ounces of water per day, at least, right? That's one of my boundaries because I want to be hydrated. I want my skin to be plump. I want my body to move, the way it's supposed to. So the hydration is like oil for this unit. You know what I mean? So I have to make sure I get my water, and I have to make sure that I'm eating properly, exercising. Those kinds of things promote good, healthy, lifestyle for longevity. See, longevity is my goal. And so I have to do those things that are conducive to longevity. And so a boundary is just simply saying no when no is necessary. That's basically all it is. It's a fancy little word for saying no when no is necessary and meaning no. And of course, it's going to feel a little awkward at first because you're not used to it, but that's okay. You keep saying no when you mean no. When no is appropriate, you say it. And I tell you what, the first time you say no, you're going to feel so much empowerment. You're going to feel like you're in control of your life, right? So, the second thing that I do as a boundary, I get 7 hours of sleep nightly. I know how important it is for my mind and my body, right? Because there's a mind body connection. So the things that I do for my mind are also good for my body. The things I do for my body are also good for my mind. Isn't that cool how that works? So when I eat appropriately, when I drink my water, I exercise, and I turn off that TV or turn off that media, whatever the media is. Now, see, TikTok has me locked. Woo! I know you know. I know you know. TikTok will have you on your phone, on your device for hours. You'll look up and it's past bedtime. I'm talking about me. See, so I have to set a clear-cut boundary. Okay, Benita, no, no, no. At 8:30, all devices are shut down. Go to bed. In bed by 9, sleep by 10, up by 6. That gives me a total span of 7 hours that I can sleep. 7 hours that my body can rejuvenate itself so that it can perform optimally for me, right? Emotionally, I have to think about the people that I allow into my life. Are you bringing some chaos and confusion? You know I don't like that. No, no, no. No chaos, no confusion. I'm not doing that today. I don't live my life that way. And I don't associate with people who have that kind of life. See, I have to be very particular about the people that are in my front row. The people in my front row have direct access to me. Now, everyone might want to have direct access, but not everyone is capable of having direct access, right? If I find that someone is pulling on me too much, well, then I need to kind of back up and say, whoa, what's going on here? Check that boundary, right? The biggest part about it is I can sleep at night knowing that I am doing well by myself, by my boundaries. This is what I'm saying, not by myself as in single, but I am. But what I mean is that I am doing right by my boundaries, right? I can sleep at night knowing it's okay. So and so got mad. I'm getting ready to sleep real good. We'll deal with that tomorrow or some other time. But I'm telling you, if you just learn how to stick to your boundaries, you will see your life change in a major way. The difference between effective people and highly effective people are boundaries. I'm here to tell you, are boundaries. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Now, the boundary that I have for my emotional well-being is I don't get myself entangled in third-party situations. If you want to date me and you've got somebody else that you got going on, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because I am worth more than that. I have boundaries. Either it's me, all me, or none of me. You know what I mean? That is my boundary. And so as long as I am sticking to those boundaries, I can feel my self-esteem goes through the roof. I'm telling you, if you just set a boundary and stick to it, you will feel so much better about yourself. Your self-esteem will be through the roof. Your self-respect will be on 10 plus. You know what I'm saying? And everyone will be able to tell because you're going to glow. Your light is going to shine. People are going to wonder, why is she so excited? She set some boundaries and then she stood on them regardless of what anybody else thought. You have to be unapologetically, right, caring for your self-care. And that in this situation is talking about boundaries, okay? Now, as we continue to move forward, I want to talk to you about the spiritual boundaries, right? Because mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, these are the components of my multidimensional being, right? And each one of them deserves to be cared for. And so we care for them individually so that they line up, right? They line up and all things are working together for your good. So now my spiritual boundary, I know I only have one spirit. I have one spirit, I have one body, I have one mind. I need to cherish it. I need to protect it. I need to make sure that I guard it. And the way I do that is through my boundaries. There are certain things that I'm just not going to watch. I'm not going to watch anything crawling out of the floor. I'm not going to watch anything that's going to give me nightmares. I know some people like that feeling of feeling afraid. I don't like that feeling. I like the feeling of feeling at peace with myself. And I came to understand that early on. Because, see, once that movie's over, it's already in here and it will replay and replay and replay. It's the way it's designed. They psychologically design those kinds of movies so that they linger. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that kind of energy in my life. Once I understood more about energy, my boundaries got real strict after that. Once I found out about how energy affects my life and how that everything I do affects me on some level. And every level of my life is interconnected with another level of my life. So everything affects everything. And so one boundary set in one area will give me benefits in that area plus another area, right? We have the mind body, we have the emotional spiritual. These are the connections that we have. And so when I do anything in one of those areas, it's going to affect the other one. So I want to keep going on here with the spiritual part. Okay, I have a spiritual practice. Anyone in my life must have a spiritual practice. I don't care what your spiritual practice is, but you got to have one. You have to have one in order to be in my front row. And so these are the standards and the boundaries that I have set. And of course, you can set your own. And if you need help with setting them, I'm here to help you because I love you. You know what I mean? And I want you to thrive. And I want you to learn how to treat yourself better. And I want you to be able to say no when no is appropriate. And I want you to stop people pleasing people that don't really care whether you're happy or not. You know, I want you to take control of your life, take control of your happiness, take control of the goals and the direction your life is going in. Your life is precious, and time, doesn't wait for anyone. So as soon as you get ready to set those boundaries, you need to give me a call so I can help out. Okay? All right. All right. So I'm not sure where we are right now at time, but I have another boundary. I said that I was only going to stay on here until 7:30 tonight because my dad is in town and we're going to go make some banana bread. And so I want to have a wonderful evening with him. And because of that, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say goodnight tonight and I will see you next week right here on Willingness Wednesday, where we'll talk about things that you are not going to hear in school. You are not going to hear this in regular dinner conversation. No, you have to come here so that we can talk about these things together so that I can help you thrive in your life. Okay? All right. So in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to ask God to bless you real good. I'm going to ask you to set at least one boundary for your life. You are going to see the beauty of setting that boundary. You are going to see your self-esteem just skyrocket, and then one boundary is going to lead to another boundary, and before you know it, your life is going to be on a perfect trajectory to where you're trying to go. You're going to achieve your goals and you're going to be successful in everything that you touch. That's my blessing for you tonight. I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.